Hey there, math fans. We're at test 11. This is lesson 1, so get your swords ready and let's go. Just 2 objectives today. We're going to find percentages and solve problems using guess and check. Let's start by finding percentages, which is just a fancy word. It means the same as percents. So when we're talking about percent means parts per 100. So you know per means each, and cent you've probably heard in century, or 1 cent is 1/100th of a dollar. So cent means 100. So percent literally means every 100. So 25% means that 25 out of every 100 are green. And here's a picture. 25% of these squares are colored green because 25 out of every 100 are green. Now what you have to remember is that percent is a ratio. So this picture shows 25 out of 100. If I had 200 squares, then 25% of them would be 50 squares because 25 out of 100 and 50 out of 200 are equivalent ratios. So percent always just means we're taking whatever it is, so in this example 50 out of 200, and finding the equivalent ratio for out of 100. So the easiest way to do that is to find percent divide the numerator by the denominator in a fraction. So if Laurel got 90 out of 100 on her math test, what percent did she get? Well, I actually know the answer because I know that 90 out of 100 is the equivalent of 90%. But if I took my calculator out and I did 90 divided by 100, my answer would be 0.9. So when you get an answer like that on your calculator, what you're going to do is take the first 2 numbers after the decimal place, and of course you'll round. So if I had 0.9067, I would round that up to 91. Okay, but we're not doing that right now. We're just looking at the 0.9. There's no number here, so I'll put in a 0. And then this becomes the percent. So grab your calculator and give this one a try. On her science test, she got 11 out of 16. What percent did she get? Now remember, it will not be 11%. It would have to be 11 out of 100 to be 11%. So grab your calculator, pause the video here, and when you come back, I'll have the answer for you. So when I divide 11 by 16 on my calculator, the answer I get is 0.6875. I'm going to look at just the first 2 numbers, and then this next number tells me if I need to round down or up. So it's 7, which is over 5. I'm going to round the 8 up to a 9. She got 69% correct. So all I've done here is I've said there were only 16 questions on the test, but if there were 100, she would have gotten 69 of them correct. I found the equivalent ratio. 11 out of 16 is equal to 69 out of 100. Actually, it would be equal to 68.75, or yeah, 68.75 out of 100, but we're not going to mess around with that. So we'll just round up. So 69% would be the answer. And that's all there is to finding percentages. All you really have to do is divide the numerator by the denominator, and then take your answer. Let's move on and talk about how to solve problems using guess and check. So guess and check means estimating a reasonable answer and then using that to figure out a solution. Once you make a guess, you should use the information from that guess to make another better guess. Because you can check your guesses, you should always get the right answer. Let's look at an example. Lucy was reading a book. She stopped at 2 facing pages. The product of the 2 page numbers was 156. What were the page numbers? So I'm going to think the 2 page numbers are consecutive. Consecutive means one after the other. So 1 and 2 are consecutive. 7 and 8 are consecutive. 5 and 10 are not consecutive because they don't come one after the other. So I'm going to make guesses and list them, and then check the solution to confirm the answer. So the first guess I made was that she stopped on pages 10 and 11. And it tells me that the product, which means the multiplication, of those 2 page numbers is 156. So I did 10 times 11, and that's 110. That's too small, so I'm going to try a bigger number. So next up, I'm going to try 11 and 12. And when I multiply 11 by 12, I get 132. That's still too small, but I'm getting closer, so I don't want to go up to like 100. That would be way too far. I'm going to keep going up by little amounts. So next up, I'm going to try 12 times 13. And when I do, I get the answer 156. So now I know I have the right answer. So I've written my sentence. She stopped on pages 12 and 13. And I'll go back and check what were the page numbers. Yes, I answered them correctly. So here's one for you to try. These are Canadian $1 bills. You probably have not seen those very often, but they do exist. And $5 bills. So Seth had some $1 bills and $5 bills. The ratio of his $1 bills to $5 bills was 7 to 2. If Seth had a total of $68, how many bills did he have altogether? So we started here by making a chart. $1 bills, $5 bills, the sum, and is it correct? And the ratio is 7 to 2, so I started by guessing that he had 7 $1 bills and 2 $5 bills. 7 $1 bills would be $7. 2 $5 bills would be $10, and when I add those up it gets 17. I need 68, so that is not correct. Pause the video here and see if you can try this problem on your own. When you come back, I'll have the answer for you. So I've just continued here to keep with the same ratio. 7 to 2, we tried 7 to 2 and it didn't work. So 2 times 7 is 14 and 2 times 2 is 4. That would be $14 and $20, 34, not enough. 7 times 3 is 21, 3 times 2 is 6, so that would give me $21 and $30 for a total of 51, not enough. Try 4. 7 times 4 is 28. 2 times 4 is 8. That gives me 28 plus 40, which is 68. Here's my correct answer. So what did he have? He had 28 ones and 8 fives. So my sentence will be he had 28 $1 bills and 8 $5 bills. And, oh, actually, see, this is an example of why it's really important to go back and check the question. Because when I check, the question is not how many $1 bills and $5 bills did he have? It's how many bills did he have altogether? So I'm going to have to add this up. 28 $1 bills, 8 $5 bills, 28 plus 8 is 36. He had 36 bills altogether. So I'm really glad I went back and checked that question because I would have gotten it wrong. Here's your review for today, and I do have one other short video for you to watch. But pause the video here and do the review. We have Max scored 12 out of 26 on his math assignment. What percent of answers did he get wrong? And here's a hint, all percentages are out of 100. And number 2, a farmer raises chickens and cows. He has more chickens than cows. If the animals have 110 legs altogether, how many chickens and how many cows does he have? And you'll need to do guess and check with that. And remember, of course, that chickens have 2 legs and cows have 4. So pause here, do the review, and then come back. And one last thing for today, I'd like you to do the study jam about percent because I didn't go over it in great detail here. It won't take you very long. Just go to www.tinyurl.com/studyjam%. That's it. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.